Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day if you are watching this during the daytime and very good evening if you are watching this during the evening time. Okay. So, how are you? I hope that you are doing very well so that's why you are here watching me in this session on the fifth, I think yes, the fifth session for 2023, where on weekly basis, Proofreaders United will provide this kind of session for free on our YouTube and our Facebook page, Proofreaders United. You can search this name, Proofreaders United, on YouTube and also on Facebook, and you'll find our channels on YouTube and our page on Facebook. Okay, so this is the second part of the same topic that I delivered last week. So I'll be continuing the same topic but different focus. If you have watched the session last week, what I delivered was on editing and abstract, but it focused on a few points. First thing first, when it comes to editing and abstract, we must make sure that the abstract is as concise as possible. And how do we make the abstract as concise as possible? We can change a few phrases, we can change a few ways of using punctuation, and all those things you can watch in the session that we have already recorded, and it's already available on YouTube of Proofreaders United's channel and also on Facebook's page of Proofreaders United. Okay, you can see and watch the first part last week available at those platforms. Okay, so, what we will have to do this week is to continue, but we will focus on different other areas of editing and abstract. So, hopefully, we'll find a good example of a published article, and we are going to focus on its abstract only. And because why we do not make it public, make it shown to anyone except the proofreader and also the management only when it comes to the privacy and confidentiality of the document that Proofreaders United process on daily basis. Because why we really understand we really understand how private and confidential it is when it comes to document that has not been published anywhere, that has not been reviewed by reputable reviewers. That's why we do not I do not use any documents that have not been published. That's why if you see in my previous sessions, I used the published document, and then we will find ways on how we can make the documents better language wise. Okay. Okay, so I would like to really encourage you to first watch the first session that has been recorded last week, and only then you watch the rest of today's session. Because why, I'm afraid if you keep on watching this second part, you will be missing a few prerequisite points that I have mentioned in the first session. Okay, it's better you to stop here, watch the first session, and get back to the second part today. Okay, okay. So let me present. Present screen share. I would not like to share my audio entire screen. Okay, so let me show you my Mendeley. I have chosen this abstract because I immediately can find a few ways this abstract can be improved. Okay, okay. Let me copy the whole abstract. and then, why is it like that? Okay, just up to that point. Oh, new. Okay, I better close this document. Okay. Uh-huh. So this is an abstract, so I better put it in a bigger font size. Okay. So after I have moved the abstract from Mendeley to um, Microsoft Word, it has transformed its format. Initially, it was like this way, but once it's moved to Microsoft Word, it becomes this way. But never mind. Don't worry so much about the format because we want to focus on the um, language presentation. Okay, okay. About today's session, I would not like to make it too long, like 1 hour, like last week. Because why? Providence United just secured a 700 plus pages work or job last night, and I'm the one who is responsible to work on the documents, a lot of documents. So I better not take too long for this week's session because I would like to focus on that session because I have already promised that I'll continue this session this week, and we would like to be consistent on a weekly basis to have this kind of session, even if like 30 minutes it's already okay, instead of we start stopping the first session. We are afraid that there will be the second one, third one, and then we are not consistent, and that's the same advice I would like to share with every one of you who are watching this session today, because sometimes we need to adjust, we need to rearrange our uh, workflow. Although because things happen, things change, things takes place suddenly. That's why we need to keep our options open. That's why for this week, I still have this session recorded and featured, and also uh, I do not want to miss this week's session because I have already promised to deliver this session, and also I would not want to miss or lose to lose uh, the momentum of this kind of session. It's already It's just February. We have March until December for the rest of the year. I'm afraid if I start stopping to deliver even one session, I'm afraid there will be the second one, third one, and then we will forget about it. So please pray that I'll be consistent in this kind of sharing session on weekly basis, and I would also like to pray that all of you who are struggling, who are working hard on your progress, your thesis, your lab work, and anything that you are putting your efforts on now, so for them to be as consistent as possible. Consistent does not mean it must be always uh, be inclining all the time, but sometimes we have to accept the fact that sometimes we have to put the graph lower, but it's still flowing. It's still flowing. It's like this, like this. Okay, it's still flowing, but on upward trend. Instead of we put too much effort until to the peak, and then we feel exhausted already, and then it's not that we slowly decline like this. No, we decline, and then we stop. That's what we are afraid of. That's why being consistent does not mean we always stress ourselves out until that we are burnt out. No, being consistent means we keep on progressing regardless how big or how huge the progress is. Okay, okay. I wish you all the best. Okay, so let's continue with this session. Okay, let me see. Okay, I love this layout better. Okay, okay. So, once I paste this abstract onto this Microsoft Word document, the default setting is English UK, and that's why we can immediately see, other than this, okay, word, okay, okay, only this word is highlighted by Microsoft Word automatically to be uh, wrongly spelled. That's why, okay, I'll activate this track changes. In case you do not have idea about what track changes, please watch the session that I have recorded earlier this year on January. Okay, so by using Microsoft Word, actually we can rely to an extent on Microsoft Word to help us on identifying some mistakes, some common mistakes, some spelling mistakes that are there in our document. But do not rely on it too much, because we are afraid that we rely too much on computer, on robot, and we are afraid that we do not fully use our human mind to find mistakes and correct the mistakes to a potential that a human brain can do. Okay, like this one, it's not ethology, it's etiology. It's not etiologic, it's etiology. Okay, and the rest of it, let's go one by one, sentence by sentence. Okay, all these, okay, like these ones, okay, actually they are not wrongly spelled. It's just that in the database of Microsoft Word, they are not recorded as to be correctly spelled. That's why we cannot rely too much on Microsoft Word, because there are many other words that have not been recorded in the database. That's why when it comes to all these names of bacteria, they are highlighted with this zigzag red line. They are not wrongly spelled. It's just that it's not in the database. Okay, if in case we rely too much on Microsoft Word, we are afraid that we will change this to other words that are actually wrong. Okay, so be careful when using any software. And yeah, I do not want to mention any name of the software, but just be careful. I do not want to also discourage 100% that you should not use any software that are helpful. No, I do not want to suggest that. But what I would like to suggest that it's up to you whether you want to use the software or not. But always be careful. Use your human brain. Use your human brain to do the final decision for any changes that you will put in the document. Okay. Okay. So these are not wrongly spelled. I'll just move it there. Okay. And for this, what's the difference between these words with zigzag red line and this double line blue in blue? Okay, these are wrongly spelled. See, as mentioned here, spelling, and for this one is about grammar. Okay, supposedly before a open bracket, there should be one space. Okay, for this one, we can rely on Microsoft Word. Please help us on correcting that. Or otherwise, you can just put the space like that. Okay, so that's basically a few immediate corrections that we can do by using the help of Microsoft Word. Okay. Good. Now let's go to sentence by sentence and see how we can improve the sentences. Okay, background. Oral microbiome and salivary proteins, okay, play a critical role in the occurrence and development of caries. Okay, oral microbiome and salivary proteins, it's a plural noun. That's why there is the word "n" over here. That's why one subject, two subjects. That's why here is play. Okay, a critical role. Okay, I really hope that there is only one rule of oral microbiome and salivary proteins, but I believe the role is not one. Okay, if I am the author, I'm not saying that I'm the editor, but if I am the author of this sentence, I will change this to be the word role to be plural because we are talking about two uh, entities. Oral microbiome is one entity, salivary proteins one another entity. I believe they have many roles. See, in the occurrence one, and the development is another one. So at least two stages are involved there, and based on the knowledge that I have on this particular topic. Okay, actually, why I selected this topic because it's on my Mendeley, and I use my Mendeley to write my thesis. That's why you will see this kind of topic that I share on my session. Okay. Okay. So I, as an author of this, for example, if I am the author of this abstract, I will change this to be a plural noun like that. Okay. Okay. If I am the editor, the editor of this um, abstract, I will instead, okay, ask question. Okay, are you sure that there is only one rule? Okay, consider. Okay, I do not want to push the author to accept my suggestion. Instead, I ask the author to consider my suggestion. Consider changing it to rules instead. Instead. Okay, I will change this to be like that so that it will be easier uh, for the author or for the client to consider to get what I mean with the issue that I would like to highlight in the sentence. Okay, this one is also rule. So I have to post this comment, and that's how it looks like that. Okay, first sentence already there is one comment. Okay, intercurrents and development of caries. Okay, language wise so far okay. In this study we used okay uh, past tense. Okay, we used metagenomic and metaproteomic analysis. Okay, metagenomic is one, metaproteomic is another one. Okay, to explore the microbiological and proteinic biomarkers and investigate the etiology of caries in 6 to 8 years old children. Okay, I would like to highlight on this particular uh, punctuation. Okay, I believe this is it N or M? Let's see. This is hyphen, and then insert symbol, more symbols, and we go to the tab special characters, M dash and N dash. Okay, close. Okay, we can see this is hyphen, this is M dash, this is N dash. So the length is reflected to be N dash. So this is agreed. I agree with this punctuation that is put by the client or by the author. So this is actually correct. No problem with that. Okay, in case you wonder what's the difference, please watch the first part for this particular for this same topic that I delivered last week. Okay, so this is correct. Into Okay, there are two objectives for this uh, article: to explore the microbiological and proteinic biomarkers, one, and to investigate the etiology of caries in 6 to 8 years old children. Okay, this is a matter of preference. I do not want to impose too much or to stress too much on this, but if I want to make it clear that there are two objectives, I would like to put the word two over here so that people can immediately see that there are two objectives in this particular um, abstract of a particular study. Okay, I know that by adding one word in the abstract, it will make the abstract to be less concise. But let's see how we can instead slash a few other words so that we can make the sentence or the abstract uh, much more concise. Okay, this is not to say this is the right way, the compulsory way of putting it, but I would like to stress on making the readers know that there are two obviously seen no objectives for this article. That's why I would like to also add the word two over here. Okay. In case we have already exceeded the number of words that should be in the abstract, this one of the words that we can consider to delete later. Okay, so far we have 317 words. Okay, I do not know the word limit for this abstract, but let's just point out those points so that you know the possible ways of editing an abstract and why we do it like that. Okay, so we move on to the uh, next sentence. Okay, our study aims. Just now used also study. This one is present tense. Okay, why is there such a difference? Okay, to offer a better comprehension of these factors and the relationship with caries. And these findings might facilitate caries risk assessment and provide a basis for future prevention strategies. Okay, I have a few points that I would like to say about this sentence. Okay, first thing first, I think the sentence is already too long and there is no strong reason why this should not be deleted. I mean, should be left like that. Okay. What I mean is that, what I mean is that, I will just end the sentence over there. Okay, like this. Okay, because I don't see the strong point why we should continue the sentence like the original one. Why don't we just make it really short and sweet for the sentence? Because we know that each of the sentences is having their own points. Okay, for this one, our study, I would like change this to be aimed because earlier it is here used past tense. Why don't we just make it consistent throughout the abstract? Our study aimed to offer a better comprehension of these factors. Okay, what factors are you talking about? Okay, biomarkers carries in 6 years old. Okay, comprehension of these factors. I don't really get what these factors phrase is referring to. Okay, this is where the editing needs to be done, and the relationship with carries. Okay, these findings might facilitate carries risk assessment and provide a better a basis for future prevention strategies. Okay, I would like to highlight this first. Okay, the thing is, that's why I usually I'll just read actually the abstract when it comes to editing an abstract. I'll just read the abstract to get the gist or the idea of the abstract. I do not usually start editing an article immediately in the abstract. I skip that and then start at the introduction and so on and until the rest of until the end of the article, and only then I'll get back to the abstract. Because why? Okay, this is the kind of the example of why we can be really confused when we read an abstract, because they tend to use um, words that are not clear about the meaning. Okay, for example, I can put my intelligent guess about the phrase these factors. Maybe they are referring to the biomarkers and also the age of the or the etiology of caries and six and age of the children. um but yeah, I'll just put the word like here, this KIV, because I want to get back to this phrase later when I have already finished editing the rest of the document, because I think I can offer some ways of improving this sentence to help readers comprehension better. Okay, next is the word better here. Okay, what does it mean by better? Better means it's it's a comparative adjective for good. Good, better, best. Adjective, good. Comparative adjective, better. Superlative adjective, best. Good, better, best. When it comes to the comparative, the middle one in the table, if you can imagine the table, when it comes to using an no, no, a comparative adjective, we have to make the comparison as clear as possible. Okay, so what does it mean by comparison? Comparing means we have to have another subject that we compare with our subject so that we know which one is better, which one is we not as better as this one. Okay, that's why we have to make the sentence clearer when it comes to comparison. Okay, like this one, better than what? Better than what? Okay, there are a few ways where we can improve the sentence. Okay, uh, one of the ways is just, for example, a simple way, but be careful with this way because we still need to read the rest of the article. The first way is just immediately change from a comparative adjective to be a simple adjective, like this one. Good, better, best. We from best we change to good. Okay, but how good is good? Okay, so that's why it's always advised to be careful when using any adjectives in your academic sentences, because these are one of the areas where you can be questioned about your academic integrity. You say this is good. How good is good? How do you define good? Okay, things like that. So just be careful. Okay, so one way of improving the sentence is to change from a comparative adjective to be a simple adjective like this. But be careful. Another way, which is I would like to say better, but it will take quite an effort because you are not the author of this abstract. You need to read the rest of the document. That's why I would like to suggest the sentence to be okay, I read first and will leave a comment better than what? KIV. Okay. In case, just to give an example. Okay. Our study aim to offer a better comprehension of these factors than the previous, for example, previous studies. At least the comparison, okay, is given. Okay, the main point here is to put the word then. Okay, when we use a comparative adjective, the word then like this must be mentioned, must be used, and the comparison is spelled out. Okay, please avoid using any comparative adjective if you are not sure to compare with what. Okay, just an advice. Okay, and to prefer this and the relationship of with carries. Okay, I believe the relationship of these factors. Okay, okay, 2 points over there for this sentence about using comparative adjective and about making the nouns clear, these factors. Okay, that's where KIVing things when editing a document, especially when we work on the abstract immediately, is really common because there are a lot of things that we do not yet understand by just reading the abstract. The abstract is meant to give us a simple idea and quick ideas about the content of the rest of the document because this is where the main points are given, and if we need to know what they mean with all those KIV things, we need to read the rest of the article. But this is where we really need to be really careful uh, to make sure people will have the least number of questions in their head when they read our abstract. That's why abstract is like our face, the face of our article. Once the face is too hazy, too too incomplete, too ununderstandable, that's where people will give quite a bad impression towards the rest of our article. That's where abstract is really important to make it really clear as possible. Uh, Even like this is a published document, a published article. I already have a few comments and also a few suggestions to improve the abstract according to my understanding, based on my knowledge in editing abstracts, things like that. Okay. Next one is these findings might facilitate carries risk assessment and provide a basis for future prevention strategies. Okay, I don't think there is any problem with the sentence. Okay, let's move on to the methods. Okay, children 6 to years old living in rural isolated areas, including 40 carries active subjects and 40 carries free subjects, okay, were recruited. Okay, okay. About this phrase, earlier they have this phrase, but why here is not like the same like the previous one? I would like to make it consistent. So I'll replace this expression with like the earlier one. Okay, children 6 to 8 years old living in rural isolated areas, including. Okay, I would like to rephrase this sentence lah. Okay, because why? The word areas and including is put next to each other. Okay, we have two options to improve the sentence. Okay, the thing is, we do not want to give the idea that these 40 carries active subjects and 40 carries free subjects are actually the areas. The areas. I know, I believe you all know that these 40 carries subjects and 40 carries free subjects are actually the children. Uh, okay, I would like to suggest this to be rephrased like this. Okay, children 6 to 8 years old, including 40 carries active subject and 40 carries free subject, there should not be a space here. We delete that. Subjects living in rural uh, isolated areas were recruited. I think this is better than the previous one. Or we can put a comma over here uh, and over here as well to give the idea that those children are composed of 40 carries active subjects and 40 carries free subjects were recruited. Uh, Two ways of improving the sentence. Okay. Okay. Supragingival plug and unstimulated saliva were collected for 16S rDNA pyrosequencing and isobaric text for relative and absolute quantitation. Okay, I'm not really familiar with this phrase. Let us check. Very common that I'll check the phrases, words that I'm not sure, because why? I'm afraid if actually the word should be spelled like this with capital I, capital T, capital R, capital A, capital Q. But based on this, but this is at the, maybe it's at the heading or title. That's why it's spelled with, okay. It's at the title. That's why it's spelled with the first letter capital. But in the text, it's not spelled like that. Okay, how about okay, for this one also spelled not with first letter capital, and at least okay, the first page shows that it should be spelled with not capital letter for the first letter. So this should be right then. Isobaric text for relative and absolute quantitation. Technique coupled with quantitative nano flow liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry. Ooh. Okay, there are two, I would say, techniques. Okay, because respectively over here. So does that mean that for supragingival plaque they use isobaric text for relative absolute quantitation, while for unstimulated saliva they use quantitative nanoflow liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry. Okay, I have a few questions over there. Okay, I did not do these techniques in my PhD. That's why I'm not really familiar with any of these two. That's where I'll again highlight and KIV. Okay, let's check the language. Language, uh, quantitative nanoflow. Okay, Okay, the thing is we tend to forget what we actually read. Okay, so that's why we have to put some note over there about the use of respectively. Is it correct? Okay. So then once we get back to this abstract, we'll know where we should be checking again. Okay, respectively. And then I would like to change to check this quantitative. Okay. Okay, this is the article. Other than W Chen to 2020, is there any other article that already used? Only a few results, or five results to be precise. Okay, let's see in Google Scholar. Okay, if the result is too low, I'm afraid that there actually is a mistake in the spelling. Okay. Only one. Hmm, yeah, but okay. Uh, mess. Okay, mess. Okay. Is it this one? No. Hmm. Okay, even the spelling, we should be really careful about this word because it's not common. Okay, being not common does not mean it's wrong. It's just that possibly it's not. It's still new. It's still new. That's why not many articles or published documents have used the term. So just we just have to be really careful about that. Okay, but the main point here is to check the spelling because that's what language editor should do. Okay, next we move on to the results. We found 6 phyla. Okay, phyla is the plural word for phylum, and 13 genera. Okay, genus is singular, genera is plural, predominant in all the samples, and the differences in relative abundances can be observed. Okay, only 6 phyla and 13 genera. Okay. The alpha diversity analysis demonstrated that the richness and diversity of the bacterial communities were similar between children with caries-free and caries-active group. Similar between children with caries-free. Is similar between children with caries-free and caries. I am sure there's something wrong over here. Was similar. Uh, okay. First thing first, alpha diversity should be spelled with small a or like that. Let's confirm that. Alpha diversity analysis. Okay, alpha. Okay. Alpha here, alpha in the middle of the sentence. I see alpha as well with small a as well. So I'm right over there. The alpha diversity analysis demonstrated that the richness and diversity of the bacterial communities were similar between, I think, between caries-free and caries-active groups. Just like that. Why must the phrase children with? Okay, let's confirm that. And then to make sure that we do not miss anything, similar AIV, confirm the deleted phrase like that. Okay. I would like to move on to the next sentence. It's already, I think, more than half an hour, is it? Oh, 44 minutes already. Okay. Okay. LF, what's this? Okay. The thing is, if we would like to use any short name like this, it's better to put the full name first. But here it's immediately written to be left C like that, left C. Why don't we check the full name for this word? Oh, it's actually, this is recipe. Left C analysis. Okay, analysis. Okay. Linear discriminant analysis. Okay. Effect size. What's the full name actually? Effect size. So this is the whole name. The whole name. Like that. And we improve this. And put this into brackets. Okay. Analyze effect size, detected differences in the bacteria community, including dial Oxylinomonas, Actomyces, and Mogibacterium in the active group. Okay, as an editor, a language editor, I usually will check each and every word over here. Okay, correctly spelled, Selenomonas. Although I know it's correctly spelled, but let's do this exercise together. Okay, Selenomonas, but here it's Selenomonad. Monas or monad? I think it's monas. No problem there. Actinomyces. Okay, although it's not underlined, but let's just check. Okay, and Mogibacterium. Okay, also correctly spelled. In the carriers active group, P less than 0.05. Okay, can you see this expression and also this expression? What's the difference? The difference is this one is not spelled correctly. There should be a space over there. Okay, and Capnocytophaga. Let's check the spelling one by one. Okay, correctly spelled. Fusobacterium. This is an important finding in my study. Okay, in my own study, not this one, this particular abstract that we are discussing together. Okay, Haemophilus. Okay, Porphyrimonas. Okay, Porphyromonas. Okay, in the caris-free group. Okay, so basically all these genera are spelled correctly. They are genera, right? So if genera, just that's phyla or genera. Let's check. For example, just now, Porphyromonas, known as the family of Porphyromonidae. Okay, species. Okay, I think Porphyromonas is scientific name, genus. See, range genus. Okay, genus, rank, genus. The thing is, if you are familiar with this field, even for the genus, we should put it into italic. Okay, but even in the original abstract, it's not spelled with italic. Okay, let's check for just now. Mogibacterium, for example. This Mogibacterium is at the rank of genus. See, yeah, rank genus. So since it's Mogibacterium is a gram positive. Okay, let's see. See, in Wikipedia, in fact, the word is spelled italic. Okay, domain, phylum, class, order, genus, Mogibacterium. See, Mogibacterium, italic. So supposedly these are spelled italic. Okay, you can do this one by one like that, but actually I can suggest one way where actually you can put this all together to be italic first, okay, and then uh, these ones to be italic as well. But are you going to change all these um, commas to be unitalic one by one? No, actually you can use this way. We put comma here and comma here. We would like to instruct Microsoft Word to find italic, comma, okay, italic, and then replace with format, font, italic, not italic, regular, italic, regular, okay, and then replace all, okay, and we have already changed all these initially italic or italic. Anyway, italic, comma to be non-italic, regular, and we change this to be an italic and italic. Easy, right? Okay. In case you miss the steps, do not worry. You can always uh, rewind. Okay, rewind what I already demonstrated and see how I did it. Okay. So the main point here that all these are the names of genus. They should be spelled in italic. That's where you really need to find an editor who is familiar with your field of study, because this kind of knowledge, uh, not every editor knows, especially those who are not from the same field like yours. Okay, even I do not want to uh, I usually do not take law and social science documents because they have their own style where I'm not really am familiar with. That's why uh, I am more familiar with science, health, and medicine and engineering. I can help you with this kind of document. Okay. Okay. It's already almost 60 minutes, although I initially said I would like to deliver the session like 30 minutes only. But yeah, it's difficult to stop Zaki. Okay, I would like to stop here. Okay, but I guess you get a few interesting points from today's sharing. And in case you do not understand any of the points I have already shared with you in this session, please leave your questions below and I'll read it and reply to you as soon as possible. Okay, because why? I would like to focus on that 700 plus pages document to be uh, to be edited within 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully, it will not take any longer than 3 weeks. It's because it's already 9th of February. It should be done by 23rd. Hopefully, I can do my best to make sure the documents are proofread well. Okay, so I guess that's all for today's session. Thank you for watching and Assalamualaikum.